Hi everyone. Today I'm joined with ZS Diamanti, fantasy author who's successfully self-published a lot of amazing books and has fulfilled um, and printed books with booktok. And today we're going to particularly talk about Kickstarters, and we're going to chat about just the ins and outs, how it works, and yeah, how you've successfully fulfilled your Kickstarters. So, can you tell us a bit about your books, what you love writing, and how you started becoming a indie author?
Yeah, sure. As said, I'm ZS Diamanti. That's how we say it over here. No, just kidding.
Sorry for pronunciation.
No, I lived in Canada for a few years, so I had a Z for a while as well. So I totally used to it. But
So
so
sorry.
no, so I'm a fantasy author. I've written some epic fantasy. I've even written a little bit of a twisty, creepy dark fantasy, but then I also have really found my stride in cozy fantasy of late. And Guard in the Garden and Wagons and Wyverns are my most recent books, and they are cozy fantasies. One is a cozy fantasy about a veteran's healing journey, and the other is a cozy fantasy about a goblin with anxiety, which is super fun.
No, it sounds really good.
Yeah, they're super fun, and we have seen a lot of great success with those ones, especially and running Kickstarters as well. So yeah, we've seen a lot of things in the last 2 years.
Yeah. Well, what made you decide to take the self-publishing route, do you think?
Yeah. So for me, it was very easy. A lot of people kind of, weigh the options, and they're like, okay, well, you can do a pros and cons list and kind of figure out, okay, is trad more my speed or is indie more my speed? And for me, I'm a go-getter. I like to do things. I like to learn how everything works. I like to
Yeah.
figure out how to work with different people, like artists for covers and narrators for the audiobooks and editors. I like figuring those things out. And so that was definitely my speed. But also, I originally quit my job to chase this dream of being an author. It's been 3 years since I quit my job to chase this dream.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, it was crazy. Definitely did a lot of family math. For anybody who's followed me anywhere else, most people know that I have 4 children and we have to feed everybody. So definitely had a lot of family math to figure out. And my wife has a job, so we were able to kind of figure it out as a family. But it took about 1 year from the day I quit my job to my first book coming out, Stone and Sky. And it's a very old school, classic style epic fantasy with lots of fun and adventure in it. And it was a process of about 1 year building everything up, preparing for that moment. And when that moment really hit, we were off to the races. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's amazing. And it's good that you kept that momentum as well. Like
yeah.
you've managed to build it up. Is there any secrets to your success? Like how did you find out about Kickstarters, and was that uh aspect of why your books have done well, or was there anything in particular that really made it become a good success? Because you sound very successful, and I'm sure our audience would love to know how you did it.
Yeah, so one of the huge things was I got onto social media, and I'm not a social media person, just like in general. I
That's
don't
so hard to
actually
believe.
scroll. Yeah. So I don't actually scroll. I don't actually use it like as like on a personal level at all. And so really funny that social media is where I was able to really figure out how to actually find readers and actually find an audience to be a part of this amazing adventure with me. Because really, I just didn't use it on a personal level. And so it
Yeah.
was a lot of research, a lot of learning, a lot of setting up foundational things like having a website ready, having reader magnets ready, having building that social media platform and finding my stride there. Because when Stone and Sky did come out, I had already built all of those things. And so we were able to successfully launch from there. The fact of the matter is family math aside, we were down our personal credit card is $5,000 max. Like that's it. And we were maxed out on that. And we had like $30 in the bank or something when Stone and Sky came out. And it was like we had invested everything. Like this is everything. I put all this effort in over the span of this year because I had already had the book written, and it was like, no, we got to launch this right, otherwise this isn't gonna work. And so it was a lot of just building and finding out that social media is not as difficult as complicated as people make it. You can really simplify it a lot, and I think it just kind of clicked. It kind of clicked for me, and that's really where I found the audience, right? And then of course now, when you write good books and people really enjoy the style of books that you write, then it just kind of snowballs from there.
Yeah, of course. I think building your platform is the most important thing, like you said. So if you don't have a strong foundation, what are you going to work on to build on it? So it's really interesting and good to hear that you invest. Yes, it's an investment, but it's going to be long term. You've got to really work at it if you want to see results.
For sure. A whole year that I wasn't making any money from books. But I was working exclusively on book stuff, right? I mean, I had some odds and end jobs, as a graphic design guy, had some of those things going on just to, make things ends meet. But I mean, it was basically a year of focusing, really cranking on those things and building the foundation before I even got my first book sale, right? So
but it is a big deal, but it's also like so important if you want to go down that route, because you can't just write a book and get rich quick. Like,
right?
You have to.
Huzzah! I'm just famous and amazing all of a sudden.
Posted one post and I've written my book. Sadly, it doesn't work like that. No. But it's good to hear like how important these other things are, because obviously running your own brand and running, building an audience and running Kickstarters, there are all parts of the whole thing, but you got to start somewhere. So when it came to running your Kickstarter, where did you start? How did you find it?
Yeah, so what I realized early on was when Stone and Sky came out, it was like I was refreshing my, KDP, like Amazon backend, like every 20 seconds, right? It's like, oh my gosh, did we do it? Are we selling books? Oh my gosh,
are we sold?
Like just a refresh. Now thankfully, because I had built social media, we were able to sell some quite a few books right out the gate, especially through TikTok shop and on the website and other places, because I was trying to be, I didn't want all my eggs in one basket, right? So I was trying to be very smart about that, especially because I was like, we got people to feed around here. So like, let's figure this out. And so when I first discovered that other people were doing Kickstarters for their books, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, let me think about this just like logically, like
of course,
like bare bones, basic logic. If I run a Kickstarter, I could fund all of the front end, things, that all the costs, right? Covers and editing and narration for audiobooks, because I didn't have an audiobook for Stone and Sky when it first came out, right? And I was like, wait, I could actually potentially fund all of that before the book even came out. And so then when the book does come out, I don't have that crazy stress of refresh every day, just hoping that, oh my gosh, I have to make, we have to sell 500 of these books at this price so that
Yeah.
hopefully we can make back
Make
everything.
ends meet. Yeah.
Totally. And then that would be just breaking even. I was like, wow, wait a minute. If I can just hit this mark and break even before the book even comes out, then everything on top of that is just profit, and we can actually live with this, right? We can actually
Yeah,
go.
of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was just the logic side of me that was like, wait a minute, we got to try this. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so we did it. We did one when the second book was coming out, so Stone and Tide, and that was our first one, and it went pretty well. We did about 8,000 on that first one on the Kickstarter, and we learned a lot of lessons and figured out, shipping, and you're figuring out fulfillment, and you're figuring
Yeah.
out, what kind of rewards people are interested in, and what kind of stretch goals people would be interested in. A lot of what I did early on was I actually had about 12 different Kickstarters from other people that they had run
Mhm.
for different fantasy books. I had 12 of them, like all the tabs open, right? And I was just going through each one and looked at the sections that they had and what was the
Yeah.
most common sections that they were putting in theirs. So I just kind of hodgepodged a whole Kickstarter campaign
Mhm.
from different other
From
authors that
other
had done it
books.
well and successfully, right?
That makes sense. Yeah. Learn from people who've done it well. So,
Exactly. And my books are different than theirs, and so the content is going to be different,
yeah.
but you can understand the structure and the systems that they were putting in place by going through and actually studying them. So then the second Kickstarter we did 16,000, and then the third Kickstarter we did 25,000, and then the next Kickstarter we did 38,000, and we're projected for the next Kickstarter, we're doing an anthology with 21 other authors, and it's
Wow.
looking like it could end up being our first 6-digit
Wow.
Kickstarter, which would be incredible. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's one of
Yeah.
those things you learn as you go, and
Yeah.
you do it the first time, and you learn, and you make it better the second time, and then you do it, and you make it
Mhm.
better the third time. And if you keep actually progressing each time, I mean,
Yeah.
by
You.
next year, we're like, why would we ever not do a Kickstarter for a release, right? It just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense for us anymore.
Do you think there's like any more positives? Obviously, the Kickstarter itself is like amazing. You get to do
Yeah.
things, not have to have the stress of money. But do you think it helps you grow as well as an author? Because I feel like it's a lot of attention that possibly you might have not got, or traffic that, you know, people might have not necessarily seen. Do you think it helps you grow in that way?
Yes, 100%. So one of the things that I get asked to talk about social media a lot, right?
Mm,
But one of the things I always try to remind people is that all of these different places are different pools, right? They're
yeah.
different audiences. People who love to use Instagram are going to use Instagram. People who
Mhm.
love to use TikTok are going to use TikTok because that's what they prefer to use. People who love
Yeah.
to use Twitter/X, that's what they love to use. And so that's where they're going to spend their time. And so by utilizing each one of those spaces, you actually are hitting different audiences. Now, fact of the matter is, there are people who exclusively spend their money on Kickstarter. That's what they do. That's what they love to be a part of, because
Mm,
part of backing these projects and helping bring these creative things to life. And that is something that's so cool. And so there is a whole wide audience of people that exclusively use Kickstarter to buy books. And I 100% will tell you that 90% of that pool is not the pool of other people that you have in different places. So uh, definitely seeing growth specifically from
that's good.
Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like also using social media to your advantage to obviously showcase that you're doing Kickstarter also brings in those people too. So it's a
Yeah.
way of obviously bringing people to all the other pages, which is what you want to
Totally.
do.
You definitely get crossover for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
What do you think is your plans for the future and can we see some of your books and any books that you've printed with Book Vault would be amazing.
Yeah,
If you have
yeah.
anything to show.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So in the future, so actually, funny enough, I have this test print of the Honor Anthology. And funny enough, I didn't have the cover art yet. And so this one I made with with one of the interior pieces that's going to be in the actual anthology. I just slapped it on the cover and put some of the graphics on it, just so
Amazing.
I had some sort of cover for this is our proofread print. It even says proofread print on the back. But I use Book Vault for even my proofread prints, and just because the uploading the files and into the system, and that is just so easy to use that I love doing that. And as you can see, there's, I mean, notes
A lot of
galore,
notes.
all the sticky notes in there, right? Just because the formatting issues or, proofreading errors that we missed, or something
Mm.
that my wife, Brittany, helps edit and do proofreads as well. So she'll put sticky notes in there. Like, she's like, is that right? And I go, okay, I'll look at it when we get back to it. But, stuff like this is, I use Book Vault for all of my proofread prints all the time, because I can also, upload files way before the book release, before it actually comes out, and actually print beforehand, which I love. So
And you can print just one copy as well. So I guess it
yeah, and you
saves you
can print
like,
just one copy.
yeah.
Amazing. I love that. Right. This Wagons and Wyverns and Garden to Garden, both printed with Book Vault. I think, let's see, you could see it. I mean, the quality is amazing. I totally love it. I love you guys. I'm always, hyping you guys up to other people, but I think you want to see these ones. This is what you want to see.
The special
Is the
editions.
special editions.
Very
And so,
shiny.
yeah. So one of the amazing things about it is I can also test print special editions, because I can just print one book. And that has been crucial, because this book in particular, Garden to Garden, this was the first time we did a special edition. And it was one of those things where we were testing a few different things
Yeah.
out. And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we tested like a different cover, and we tested different foiling, and we tested different, and like I have a test print that is the gooberiest copy of Garden of the Garden. It's just crazy, where it's got like it's got the art pieces that we did for the regular edition, but then
Mhm.
it's got like foil on it and stuff, but the foil file was too like somehow I made the foil file too large, so I had this
Yeah.
crazy
The
goobery like foil on this. It was nuts.
yeah.
But we went through a couple of iterations of this just to make sure we got it right. And when we did this, the printed edges with the
That's really
designs on
cool.
the side, right? It was that was originally too blue, and so we were like, okay, let me go back and adjust
Let's
it,
go back. Yeah.
and now we've got the green that we got here, and making it very different from the blue that we've got on Wagons and Wyverns, right?
Yeah, it
And
looks really cool.
and the foil's amazing. But I mean, we got like color interiors and colored chapter headers and stuff. I mean, it's just
Nice.
honestly,
They look cool.
yeah, the high
And
quality
also
pages and stuff.
the the split color pages means that you don't have to charge the whole book. It's just for those
Right, right.
pages. So
Yeah,
that's cool.
exactly.
Reduce the costs a bit. That looks really nice. I think I just love the illustrations you have on your books as well. Like really brings it to life.
Yeah, yeah. With cozy fantasy, I can get away with a lot. I think I learned with cozy fantasy, I can kind of just do whatever I want. And I'm
I love
like,
that.
I'm gonna go and do this, and I'm gonna go do this, and I don't care what anybody says. Like Wagons and Wyverns, we got this like picture of a grumpy boulder goat, and I'm like, this is the best. And then like you get little pictures,
I love
cute
that.
pictures of creatures and stuff. I was like,
That's so
I get to
cute.
do whatever I want with cozy
Yeah, why
fantasy.
not?
This is the best. Let's see what I can push the envelope and see what I could do, right?
Yeah, no,
So
that makes it super
yeah,
fun. Like the fact that you can have full
totally,
control and imagination and go back and change it. Like there's no high stress commitment. So I guess it
totally, yeah.
makes it just like a fun playground, really. Just do do whatever you want.
Yeah, right, right, exactly. And I honestly, again, I tell everybody I love book vault. I love you guys, not just because I love you guys, but but
Uh,
which I do. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. But I legit tell everybody they need to start using you guys. We do print on demand books on our website, which is something a lot of people don't know about, which is something a lot of people don't do. And I'm
yeah.
like, it's basically just like your KDP where somebody buys it, they print it off and send it for you, except for it's on
Mm.
your website and you get their emails, you get to continue to like foster that
Communicate. Yeah.
communication with them. And it's so much better and it's
No,
cheaper and it's like the
definitely.
best. So
I think
I'm
people
always
aren't
raving
fully
about you
aware.
guys.
Oh, thank you so much. I think people aren't fully aware that it's an option. So the more we can put out there, the more we can just let people know that it's an option and it's a good option to consider. But
Yeah.
yeah, I hope and wish you all the best in all your books, and I can't wait for your new book to come out with your
Yes.
collaboration. I'm excited. I've seen your
Yeah.
socials. But yeah, I wish you all the best and thank you so so much for chatting with me today. It's been
Oh,
a
thank
pleasure
you.
speaking to you. And yeah, it's so nice to hear about all your success. And hopefully we'll speak soon.
Definitely soon.